Is your in-law
factual basis, Your Honor, the date alleged in the indictment, Ms. Maynard had been in contact with Mr. Legarius Barfield and asked him to come to her residence here in Houston County. He came down here and on the date of the 23rd was being driven by Mr. Monty Bradlam. They arrived at her house. She initially asked him to come inside, but Mr. Barfield was hesitant. They instead left, went to a Zaxby's to get some food, and then went to the Murphyville gas station at 501 Booth Road in Warner Robins to get some gas, because they were, after that, they were shortly going to head up to Atlanta. While Mr. Bradlam was pumping gas into his car, a bluish-green Chevy Tahoe pulled up into a gas pump behind them and caddy cornered one pump over. Two black males got out, one of them being Mr. Michael Gooden with a pistol grip shotgun, the other being a DeAndre Yarn with a .45 caliber handgun. Mr. Gooden approached Mr. Bradlam with the shotgun and basically put it on his chest, firing one shot, killing him there on the spot. Mr. Barfield was able to flee, and he was shot at. He fell, and initially all the individuals there on the scene thought he had died, and so they drove away, taking Mr. Bradlam's car. They then take the car back over to Ms. Maynard's house, where they go through it, then dump it at the end of a dead-end street just a couple of streets away. Law enforcement began their investigation, led by investigator Mark Wright. Initially, there were really no leads initially in the case until about 3 to 3.5 months later. There was a kidnapping that occurred out of North Carolina. During that kidnapping, a prosecutor's father, the prosecutor, Ms. Jansen, had prosecuted the head of the 1A Trade Street set of this blood street gang, convicting him and putting him in prison, Mr. Kelvin Nelson. As he was not very happy about that, ordered a hit on Ms. Jansen, who was the prosecutor. Ms. Maynard and some others were involved in the traveling up to North Carolina and actually kidnapping of Ms. Jansen's father. As a result of that kidnapping, the FBI and other agencies got involved. Mr. Jansen's life was spared after Mr. Melton had given the order for him to be killed, and shortly before his life was to be taken. However, during that investigation, Ms. Maynard, other co-defendants, Mr. Clifton Roberts, Mr. Gooden, they were basically all rounded up because they were a part of that case also. After their arrest and other people who were involved in that kidnapping, other individuals just basically started talking. One of the other individuals who was not involved in our case said to law enforcement up in Atlanta, by the way, I think some of these people also were involved in the murder down in Houston County in January. They began to look into that, contacted investigator Mark Wright. He said absolutely they did. There was a murder. He sent them some information, pictures we had. They were able to compare the two. They were able to recover the .45 caliber handgun that was used at the scene, and also shortly thereafter recover the pistol grip shotgun that was used to kill Mr. Bradlam. Once that was done, basically investigator Wright traveling, conducting interviews here, conducting interviews in Atlanta, and also conducting interviews in North Carolina. Basically everybody started to roll and give information about what had happened. Through that, it was discovered that Ms. Maynard had been in contact with Mr. Melton. Mr. Roberts had been in contact with Mr. Melton. They wanted to get Mr. Legarius Barfield, the intended victim, down here. Some of their stories are to get information out of him, to torture and get information out of him. A couple of the other individuals that were involved in the case here said basically no, it was to kill him because Mr. Barfield had split off from the 1A Trade set of the blood skein, and some other individuals had, and Mr. Melton was not pleased about that, and he was calling a murder, basically a hit out down here. With that, again, Your Honor, Mr. Investigator Wright took warrants. Ms. Maynard at the time was up in North Carolina in custody. That's why she was not indicted with any of the others. There was a delay to get her back down here because of the case she had pending up there. And then she was brought back one time before arraignment. I believe sent back up there, or is this the first time she's been? I believe this is the first. Apologize. This is the first time she's actually been back. She was brought down here, but we had conversations. We spoke with her attorney. The state did. Spoke with Mr. Anderson. With this plea negotiation, part of it was if she cooperated, we would offer this plea deal if she were willing to testify against any trial we were to have. We obviously brought her back for the trial for this week if she would have been needed. And also we have the possible pending case of Mr. Melton, which is still out there.